What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to Bruce and Stephanie Comics. My name is Bruce, and welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Speculation Recommendations, the video where I look off into the future at final order cutoff in New Comic Book Day of next week. Why do we look into the future? Well, we look into the future so this way you guys have enough time to put in your pre-orders for your FOC books and enough time to reach out to your local LCS and to say, hey, I was watching Bruce and Stephanie's comic book speculation recommendations video. I like what they had to say. I did my own research, and I would like to pick up a couple extra copies of these books because I would like to start and make this hobby fun itself. All right, guys, it is time for my 2 weekly reminders, and the first one will always be do your own research. And that is a big one, guys, because in today's video, we are talking about speculation. And what is speculation? Well, speculation is educated guesses. That's right, we are guessing. We are making educated guesses on what books might be worth more money in the future. So I'm going to suggest you guys go check other comic book YouTubers you trust, other comic book websites that you trust, and other comic book apps that you trust. Collect the most information possible so that way you guys can make the best decisions for yourself, because you guys are spending your own hard-earned money on these books, not mine, yours, and you guys want to make the best decisions possible for yourself. And the second reminder is that sometimes the books that I speak about in today's video will shift either FOC dates or New Comic Book Day dates. That is because, well, sometimes there are printer delays, sometimes they are backed up in editorial. There are multiple reasons why books will shift to a later FOC date or a later New Comic Book Day date. So, those are the reasons, those are the 2 reminders. Let's jump into my FOC picks. Alright guys, we are doing my final order cutoff list a little different this week. Why is that? Well, I realized that the Key Collector app has a future keys category that you can go into that and look at each and every single upcoming New Comic Book Day and go through the books that are keys. But they don't have that for FOC. So I went ahead and input every single book coming up on this FOC into Key Collector app, found all the books that are keys or have some kind of spec behind it, and made my own list. And I'm gonna go through each and every single book on that list real quick, and then I'm gonna do my picks at the end of that. And then after that, we'll jump into New Comic Book Day, and that's gonna be my same old, because guys, guess what? You guys can go to the Key Collector app and go to Future Keys and look through all the books on that for next week's New Comic Book Day yourself. All right, guys, let's jump into all the keys coming up on this final order cutoff, which is October 10th for your DC books and October 11th for your Marvel and Indies. All right, guys, we're gonna go through all the DC books first, and the first one up is Batman Reptilian #5 with the possible first appearance of the Reptilian's mother. Next up, we have Dark Knights of Steel #1. This is a 12-issue Elseworlds format story with characters from the DC universe in a medieval setting. This is also the introduction of the Kings of Storm. Next up, we have Green Lantern #8. In the solicitation, it says, "The rise of a new and ancient enemy." Next up, we have Justice League Incarnate #1. This is the first appearance of Dr. Multiverse. Next up after that, we have Nice House on the Lake #6. This is the halfway point of the 12-issue maxi series. This title will be on hiatus through March of 2022. After that, we have Robin and Batman #1. This is a 1 of 3. This is the origin of Robin, a 3-issue limited series by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Wood. Amazing team up, by the way, that explores Robin's year 1 origin in prestige format in a square bound and cardstock cover in higher quality paper. And last but not least, for DC, we have Suicide Squad #9, the first team appearance of a Suicide Squad team assembled by Rick Flag. All right, guys, we have 3 Marvel books and 1 indie, so let's dive right in. We have Amazing Spider-Man #78.BEY. I hate when they do these like .1s or point whatever. Just have 78, 79, 80. Why force more books down our throats, Marvel? It's so annoying. But that doesn't stop this book from having a first appearance. This is the first appearance of Obsidian Star. Next up, we have Black Panther #1. This is written by John Ridley, the Academy Award-winning screenwriter of 12 Years a Slave, and also the solicitations mentions an unnamed Wakandan secret agent. Next up, we have Black Panther Legends #2. The origin story of T'Challa's ascension to the throne of Wakanda continues in this issue. Last but not least, we have House of Slaughter #2. This is the first cover appearance of Jace Boucher. All right, guys, that was my list of every single book on FOC that has some kind of spec potential behind it. Now let's jump into my FOC picks for this week. And the first one up is my Cover Lover book. Oh, my Cover Lovers. These books are solely chosen for the cover itself. And the first book up for my Cover Lovers is Green Lantern #8, the cover B cardstock cover done by Juliet Necchia. I'm probably totally butchering that, and I apologize, but Two things behind this book. I absolutely love the artwork on this cover of Teen Lantern. I think it's gorgeous. And also this book has spec potential behind it because, as I said in the beginning, this solicitation does mention the rise of a new and ancient enemy. So there's a little spec there, and also the cover is absolutely gorgeous. Alright guys, there are some books that I would like to call out from that list that I just spoke about that I think has good spec potential that you guys should consider. And the first one up is Robin in Batman #1, because this is the origin story. This is like year one for Robin, and I think that's really cool. I love that it's done by Jeff Lemire. He's such an amazing writer. Dustin Nguyen on art. It's gonna be this awesome watercolored adventure with Batman and Robin, and also it's in this amazing prestige format, which is also gonna be a lot of fun. So that's gonna be a Black Label. Is it going to be within the main continuity? I hope so, because I love that this is Robin, but I do think this is worth considering picking up a couple extra copies of this, because in the future, this is gonna be like, you know, it's like Batman's year one is pretty popular. I think this could be pretty popular as well in the future, especially with the creative team of Dustin Nguyen and Jeff Lemire. And the last book on this list that I wanna talk about is House of Slaughter #2. It just, how can you not want to have a first appearance in the House of Slaughter or Something is Killing the Children? I think you're crazy not to. But my one caveat for this book is that there's going to be so many printed. House of Slaughter is going to be such a big book for the first 5-6 issues that, you know, there are going to be a lot of copies of these books out there. But why not have this first appearance in your collection just in case in the future, you know, they're gonna have a Something is Killing the Children TV show. They might have a House of Slaughter, you know, either separate TV show, or maybe they start bringing in the characters from the House of Slaughter into the Something is Killing the Children universe, and you can have your copy of the first appearance of Jace Butcher on the cover. And that's it for my FOC list. Let's dive into my new comic book day picks. Alright guys, let's go over my new comic book day picks for October 13th of 2021. There are two books that I picked for my cover lovers, and the first one up is Future State Gotham #6, the Rose Besh B cover. I am a sucker for Rose Besh. I think she's doing such great work, and I really enjoy all the covers that she's done for Future State Gotham. I picked them all up. They're all in my collection. I didn't pick up extras though, because I'm not sure if these are actually going to be worth money in the future, but I wanted a copy for myself because I think those covers are absolutely gorgeous, and I think Rose Besh is going to replace Peach Momoko in the future, because I do think Rose Besh's artwork is better than Peach Momoko, but that is my opinion. This isn't my opinion. You guys can slaughter me down in the comments if you guys disagree, but Rose Besh, oh, I love your artwork. And the next book up is War of the Bounty Hunters #5, the Pagleon. I'm totally butchering that, but check out this cover, guys. Featuring Boba Fett. It is gorgeous. I've never featured anything Star Wars on this channel because I don't know enough about it, but man, when I saw this cover, I had to share it with you guys. This cover is fire. It's so good. Those are my two picks for my cover lovers. I do have an honorable mention that I would like to talk about, and that is Batman the Audio Adventure Special #1. Now, there's some spec behind this. This is the prequel to the HBO Max scripted comedy podcast. So this is gonna be a podcast, not an actual TV show. It's gonna be a radio thing. This does have 3 first appearances. The first appearance of King Scimitar, the first appearance of Stoveplate Sullivan, and the first appearance of Billy Wristwatch. Those are some pretty silly name characters, and the reason why this is an honorable mention is because this is going to be a comedy. And I don't know how many Batman fans are going to get behind a comedy, because since Batman is such a serious and dark, brooding character, but it's pretty cool. It's going to tie into the HBO Max podcast. If that podcast does really well and the story is actually really good, maybe people will get behind this book. But there is a bunch of first appearances, and that's another reason why I brought it up, because it's 3 first appearances. And it's also just a really cool concept, a comedy Batman podcast by HBO Max. So cool. Let's jump in to my 3 books that I have in my main spec section. All right, guys, I have 3 books to talk about for New Comic Book Day spec, and the first one is Army of Darkness 1979 #2, the Stray Dogs variant. That's right, the team behind Stray Dogs have teamed up with the Army of Darkness to have a variant for this book that feature the dogs from Stray Dogs, which I think is really cool, and I do think that the people who really love Stray Dogs will probably be collecting this as well, and my guess is that there's not going to be a lot printed for this because it's Army of Darkness. How many books of Army of Darkness are actually being collected by major collectors? I don't think that many. So if you guys can find your Stray Dog variants of Army of Darkness 1979, pick them up and put them on the secondary market, because I do think that the Stray Dog collectors are going to be after all of these because they want to be completionists, and to do that, they're gonna have to have these covers. Next up, we have X-Men number 4. Now, this has the first appearance of the Headless Horseman character in a Halloween-themed story within the X-Men universe, and this also has the first cameo appearance of Dr. Stasis. The main spec behind this is the cameo appearance of Dr. Stasis, but this cover featuring Cyclops on the cover on the Headless Horseman, it's just so gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I mainly love it for the cover itself, really, but does have a cameo appearance of Dr. Stasis, which is probably going to be a villain of some kind in the future, and it's X-Men. You gotta love X-Men. And the last book on my list is Immortal Hulk number 50. That's right, the final issue of Immortal Hulk, and final issues always do well. It's not going to do well right now because I'm sure this book is going to have a pretty large print run, but in 5-10 years from now, I guess there are going to be collectors that are going to be searching for these final issues of Immortal Hulk number 5, especially since it's been such a popular run. And you know, when kids in the future want to collect this, they're going to need that final issue, and you're going to have yourself some copies because I told you to pick them up. But guys, that is my FOC list. That is my new comic book day picks. What did you guys think? Did you like the new format for FOC? Should I skip that in the next video and just do my picks? Because I'm sure this video is longer than normal, and I'm sure it's going to come out a little later because it's going to take me more editing. But guys, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys are not subscribed, get yourself subscribed to the channel. Smash that bell so that way you guys are notified when I upload new content, and that is every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and we go live every single Friday on Comics and Beer at 10 p.m. You guys don't want to miss it. It's a great live stream with Stephanie and I, and she's just the best part of this channel. Last but not least, smash that like button, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Have a great week. I hope you guys enjoyed this spec video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.